When I do agriculture, I zone out a lot because it's my happy place.
I love learning about the systems that one finds in nature and how one can tap into it to produce something we really all need, you know, food.
Person. I don't like being stuck in a house 24/7. I like the outdoors. I actually start riding and skateboarding after school, so that's also when I have my free time. Not on the Tuesday and the Thursday though, because then I have karate. I actually feel a lot freer than I do in a house. You don't feel like the wind in your face, like when you're in a car and you put your head out the window and the breeze just hits you. It feels like that. So I actually live with my mom, my dad, and my 2 sisters, and my 2 dogs. I totally adore them. Their names are Bubbles and Tina. We actually adopted Tina, and she actually lived on the streets for a few years, and then we took her in. And then we only do rescues. I'm adopted, and I'm actually quite happy because I have a good family, I'm living a good life. I really couldn't say any much more about my family. Like, I love them. So I have a condition called ADHD. I do not know what it stands for, but all I do know is that I can't sit still, I move a lot, like I'm active.
All right, this is a vertical plantation. Yes, sir. This kind of farming, if ever you don't have enough space.
Concentration is a big problem for him. To keep his concentration span on one thing is a big challenge, which means since he started school, there's been gaps in things that he remembered, things that he learned, and every year those gaps just got bigger, 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 and he just fell behind. Every year was just more and more and more. So yeah, he really battles academically, especially things like math.
Pour water inside this hole here to this soil. Then this, you transport it to this.
So when I first discovered I had this condition, it made me feel left out and alone. But then I actually figured out a lot of more people out there have ADHD and is suffering the exact same thing as I am. So now it makes me feel a lot more secure about myself to say, look, there's so many more people out there that also have ADHD, and I feel a lot secure about myself now.
Do you understand, guys?
Yes, sir.
Sure, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I consider myself lucky because the things I'm passionate about are at school. I get to do what I love every single day.
I'll describe myself as a guy with many interests. I love sports, you know. I like the physicality of rugby, and as a small guy, of course, I play scrum half. It's a position that requires really quick decision making, you know. Magic! And thinking on one's feet. Yeah, boy! I like feeling tired, but then the next practice session, you know, you feel less tired. I like feeling the strength that I'm getting, and especially for smaller guys like me, to show people that like we can do things as well, you know. I also enjoy playing hockey a lot. I love the discipline and the preciseness of it, you know. You have to be very slick with what you do. For me personally, having a lot of interest, you know, it really helps hone different skills, you know, skills that you don't have or skills that you do have, you know, helps you make them stronger. And just having a lot of interest overall helps you become a more well-rounded person. I would describe myself as a competitive person, you know, not only on the sports field, but even in the classroom. I want to always be the best, so I have to do my best, give my best, you know. Yeah, I would really describe myself as a really competitive person. During the week, I live in the hostel. This makes it easier to get to all my extramurals, you know, and to pursue my other interests. I come from a very close-knit family. My dad has taught us from young to work hard for what we want to achieve in life. What I've learned from my parents is that nothing in life comes easy. You really have to work for what you want. A lot of times, you know, you get kids that they just get things from their parents, but for me, if I want a new pair of soccer boots, I have to really work hard in the classroom, you know. And then sometimes I'll get it, you know. It's just for my parents to show me that, like, working hard, sometimes you don't get what you want, but when you do get what you want, you really enjoy that reward. When it comes to getting ready for school, you know, I cannot be late for school. If I need to go with somebody somewhere, you have to be on time. There's no way I'm being late. Sometimes even on the sports field, you know, when something has to happen at the time I need it to happen, it needs to be very precise, you know. I can't have it happen any earlier, any later, you know. So I'd say in those areas I'm very impatient. My brother and sisters are all very successful in what they do, which also makes me get impatient to start building my own career, you know. But one of my interests has really helped me with understanding that life has certain cycles and seasons and periods and processes that you shouldn't rush.
So I really enjoy harvesting and being around fish because I feel like sometimes when I go fishing, I feel like a fish. Because I just see the way they're jumping, they're eating, like, it's really fascinating to me. I also want to learn their habits, how they eat, how they sleep, everything to do with them. What I like about the chickens is the way they live, the way they eat, how they act, how they fight, how they sleep. It all fascinates me because you don't really see this in nature. It's like we are quite civilized and there's not a lot of people who own chickens. And you would also need quite a big property to own chickens. So we also growing onion, spring onion, cabbage, spinach, bok choy, bell peppers, lemon tide.
Alright guys, as you know we have sets here. These are 2 different sets. You know, when teaching special need people like Keegan, as a teacher you have to look at how he responds, how he acts, how he does things, and on the other side you have to always give him a positive encouragement in a way, so that boosts his character in a way. Even if he does it, even if he doesn't do it, even if he doesn't follow the instruction, you always try by all means that, you know what, you're doing good and this is what you have to do. So I think that it boosts, and by disciplining him, you don't have to be like shouting and doing all those things. Discipline is about talking to him as a human. He will understand you and he will do the way you want him to do. We're just putting it under the soil. Now,
there's a huge difference. His new school are much more focused on daily stuff and practical stuff. So his confidence has just grown so much, where other schools focus on academics more. This is a balance between the two. They still get the balance, they still get the academic part, but they also get the practical part. And that's where he's just flourishing, and his personality has just bloomed. He's got so much more confidence because he's doing something practical with his hands.
we're just putting it.
When I do agriculture, I zone out a lot because it's my happy place. Like, I like being outdoors and I like being around animals and plants.
I recently started taking agricultural sciences at school as a 7th subject in grade 10, and it's a subject that immediately piqued my interest. I love learning about the systems that one finds in nature and how one can tap into it to produce something we really all need, food. Agricultural science, I like that it's more into the nitty-gritty of agriculture. A lot of people, they see the cows, the tractors and all that. They don't see soil pH. They don't know that cows need to have a specific diet or else they're gonna bloat. Yeah, that's more what I like about agriculture, that it's more in-depth. Every now and then, our teacher, Mrs. Ziesman, takes 1 or 2 of us out to get some practical farming knowledge. She has quite a successful farming enterprise, and we love to help out there. I enjoy getting out bright and early, but the experience is what I enjoy most. I love herding cattle. A lot of people tell me, bro, that's a massive beast, bro, and it's running at you, and you just swipe it away with such ease. Yeah, I like that power, that control, that I can master a massive beast like that. Gives me confidence. On a cattle farm, there's always lots to be done. Things happen super fast and you have to be focused on what you have to do. On a farm, everyone has a specific role and it's important to work together as a team, as it is on the sports field.
Boys, well done. You got the cows in nicely for the day. What we're going to do today is we're going to be injecting for a whole lot of different diseases, and then we'll top it off and give them a little bit of deadline with all the ticks and the hohos and the flies and all that.
I would say that it's very demanding work. Sometimes you get that few amount of cattle that are very stubborn. They don't want to receive their injection. They don't want to follow the herd, you know, and you have to chase them all the way. And, you know, the camps are pretty big, so it's very demanding. It requires a lot of patience. I've learned from these beautiful animals, you know, working with them is a really hard job, but I've learned that it becomes a lot easier if you treat them with kindness and respect. What I've learned about how to treat animals is that, you know, the force and the aggression, it's a lot of the times is not necessary. People mistake the assertiveness with aggression, but the assertiveness, it also comes with a gentle side. And you need a lot of order with animals, you know, with clamping them and keeping them tight that they don't go away. You need to like really be gentle with the animals and make sure that they don't panic. If they become stressed or scared, they become unpredictable and things can go wrong. You have to have gentleness and confidence to manage and guide them. And you have to be patient at all times.
Just step back, Ollie. Step back. Ball, 103.
Last time he came, you know, he would stand at the back there and he wouldn't even go inside the kraal kind of thing. And now he's taking it on and he's injecting them and he's doing all sorts. He really has stepped up nicely, yeah. He's also very interested in also planting, and he wants to try new things constantly. You know, he's thinking up new things. So he's an investigator kind of person. So I can see him going full out for this kind of stuff, 100%, yeah.
I would say that farming has made me a much more patient person, you know, because in the classroom, sometimes I always want to answer the questions that the teacher asks, but then I just let somebody else answer them, you know. On the sports field, I have a little more patience with somebody when they make a mistake. Yeah, just like the cattle. If the cattle is stubborn, I just take a breather and wait for it to calm down. Even in my own life, take a breather, wait for the situation to calm down. Working on a farm also taught me that everything has a place and a season, and that is a great reassurance to me.
Actually, half of the stuff I've learned from my teacher Bongani, I do at home. So we have started a worm farm, which I have. And it first started as like just a regular bed with a wall. And then I turned it around and said, hey, why don't I make a veggie garden out of it instead of just leaving it how it is to just overgrow? And I don't like seeing plants being cut down like trees because it is also killing animals' habitat, like where they sleep, and it's not nice for me. So when I want to plant more stuff for the animals and us to actually sustain, not cutting down or killing a lot of plants. When I finish school, I actually want to go study marine biology. And the way the fish react to how we act, it's actually quite cool. Because if you go into free diving, you can swim with sharks, dolphins, it all fascinates me what they eat, how they eat, when they sleep, how they sleep. And I'm also actually hoping to start my own little farm with bees, chickens, baby goats, and all of that. So what I have learned to overcome is the fear of actually like saying no. And I have to tell myself no is not an answer. It's not in my vocabulary. I can do this.
My family and I want to revive the vegetable garden on our small holding. We are looking at what we can possibly plant, your mealies, your cabbage, your spinach.
Kids need to be exposed to agriculture because they need to understand the process. Things don't just fall from nowhere. There's a process of germination that can be likened to patience in life.
And there's a season for everything. Plants need the right conditions in order to develop and grow. Sometimes you have to wait for it, and because you simply cannot rush nature. Human beings are the same. We have to grow and mature, and we have to realize that there's a time and a season for everything. Do you think it's the right time to plant this one?
I think maybe springtime.
Life lessons that I can take from agriculture, you need patience, you need grit, and you need a lot of perseverance. Because with the animals, you get those stubborn cattle that don't want to listen. With the plants, sometimes you'll plant a seed and then you won't see any results for a few months. But then only after a few months do you see your results, Sometimes we have to patiently wait for certain processes to be completed, knowing that they will equip and shape us for challenges that lie ahead. Plans for the future. I wouldn't say I've decided just yet, but I have a very solid idea of what I would do. I'd maybe say engineering, mechanical engineering, or maybe I'd become a heart doctor. But of course, an engineer or heart doctor who owns a farm, because farming always has to be a part of my life. Studies, a job, successful career, those things will come in the right time. Meanwhile, I'm doing what I can right now. Advice to kids that just want to become grown-ups already, just sit back and enjoy the ride. Stop and smell the roses, because just like this, time's gonna be up, and it's time for the next generation to have their time. So sit back and enjoy your childhood, because you're gonna miss it.